this one by Stifler. Stifler asked the ladies to rate their looks on a scale of 1 to 10.
Oh my gosh.
I hate this.
So why don't we start? What did you rate yourself? Did you say 10?
Well, I kind of changed
10?
it
Did you
last
say
time
10?
because
Or was
we
it
were
9?
including
10.
like I thought we were including like
Yeah, just-
personality, like.
But you were
your
10 last
values.
time.
I was 10. Yeah.
Are you 10?
I'm
10?
still
She's
10.
still
But
10.
she's
Still
still 10?
10.
Okay, all right. She's a 10. What about you?
I'm going to say 10.
Into the mic, please.
A 10.
A 10. A 9.
A 10.
Do we just have to say the number? I'm sorry, I talk so much. But do we just have to say the number, or do we get explained?
Number.
Well, the question is, rate your looks
I know
on
the
a scale of
question.
1 to 10.
And say why? Can you say why or no?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, thanks. I would say 9 because there's always room for improvement.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's all you had to say? You needed all that foreplay? We
Because
didn't
everyone's like,
need the
1, 2,
foreplay.
10,
Oh my
20.
God,
Like,
okay,
I'm
all
like-
right. So 9. Okay, what about you?
I'm going to be super irritating and disagreeable, but I don't think that encouraging women to give themselves a value rating on their looks is conducive with feminism, so I'll have to pass. I'm a complex woman.
Word.
I get the job done.
But you can acknowledge that some women are more attractive than others physically.
Sure.
Sure.
I think everybody's beautiful. I don't think people should walk.
If you're going to speak, you got to speak into
I
the
think
mic.
everybody's beautiful. I don't think it should be like off of like looks.
There are certainly people who are
It's
not
personality.
beautiful. I just don't think that we should
Okay.
value. I just don't think that we should value looks over other things. I think that the reality of the situation is that people are ugly and people are beautiful. It's just, I hate this movement. Like, everyone is beautiful, everyone is sexy. There are things that you can be, like, being sexy, being beautiful is so useless. It's so useless.
It's pretty useful. It's pretty useful.
It is.
Yeah,
It's
until
It's pretty
wait,
useful.
No, for the first half of a woman's life, sure. It's
Well,
not
I mean,
very useful
throughout
in
your
the second
entire
half.
life.
No.
Well, I mean,
There's a lot of-
obviously aging diminishes your attractiveness, but it's better to be an attractive 60-year-old than an unattractive
It does not change your
60-year-old.
value.
Well, yeah.
It doesn't change your value, but it does certainly have an impact on how people treat you.
Sure, for
100%.
socialization, yeah, people will treat you differently if you were
Well, yeah,
attractive.
it doesn't have an impact on.
But it doesn't
who
have
you-
any real value.
Well, I mean, if you can.
I mean,
What,
I think it
mean,
does, but
how
what's
do you
the
determine
value to
what is
you?
real value? I mean, if you are,
it can bring value.
if you are so physically attractive that you can basically monetize that to the, for example, for models.
Well, I'm against that.
Well, well, we're not talking necessarily about like nudity here. You're against like proper like magazine models, like a chick who's
The way that
advertising for.
the way that women are used
As opposed to men.
as opposed to men as objects for advertisement, I am against. Yeah.
But you don't object to. You don't think that men are used in the same way?
No.
Perhaps not to the same degree, and I mean that's reflected in the fact that there's more women
There's
who
a
are
different
models and they make
social
more money.
zeitgeist for women being sexualized than there is for men.
Well, I reject that, but
It doesn't matter if you
Well-
reject it, it's what's happening around you.
perhaps in the context of, for example, if we're speaking specifically about sex work, sure.
It's everything. There are advertisements for milk with milk all over a woman's face, and that's supposed to symbolize ejaculate. That doesn't happen with men. That's not
Could
the
it just be
advert.
milk, though? It could just be milk.
It could just be milk. There are certainly advertisements that are just milk, right? I'm not saying that every time a woman is on an advertisement it's sexualized, but it certainly is more sexualized, and the
Sure.
zeitgeist is very different for women sexually than it is for men.
Okay. So, but you have an issue, though, with the whole...
Objectification of female body, yeah.
Well, you have an issue with the rating system.
Yes.
Because why? Why
Because-
do you object to the question?
Because you only ask it so that your chat can laugh and decide whether or not these women are actually 10s or what they look like, and I object to that.
You object to what part?
Why you're asking the question.
So you object to me asking the question?
Yes.
Why?
Because I don't think you bring these women on to laugh
Oh.
at them and for
Oh.
the chat to laugh at them, and I
Here we
object
go.
to that.
So wait, well, you're straw manning kind of what I do.
It's
little
not a
bit.
straw man, baby. That's what you do.
You're saying I bring women on to what?
so that they say something. You bring on uneducated,
False.
unself-aware
Wait a minute,
women.
What?
False.
I have a master's degree.
I'm
and
not-
I'm not
False.
uneducated.
I'm not just-
Fake news. Disavow.
I'm not saying that every single woman is, but that is the whole model of the show: is that you bring on unself-aware women, you bring on uneducated women,
That's not true.
so that you can laugh at them, and so that the chat can laugh at them.
Didn't you message him
It's a
asking to
dating
be on
podcast,
this?
though.
too?
Yes, so I could say this.
That's all you wanted to say. Well, I'm sure there's more
Absolutely.
you have to say.
There's
well,
a
I
couple
mean,
things.
I certainly reject your assertion there. I mean,
Then what's the objective of the show?
what's the objective of the show?
Yeah, why are there so many clips going around of Gorlock, the destroyer of worlds, and why are there so many
Sure.
clips of young blonde women saying very dumb things and very little clothing?
Well, let's not discount the brunette women who are saying dumb things
Sure.
too. But
Them too.
so, I mean, first off, when it comes to the clips, I would say that actually we're not clipping.
But you know what's clippable.
Huh?
You know what's clippable.
Oh, I know
Listen,
exactly what's clippable.
wait,
but a lot
I
of
feel
these
like-
people like watch the podcast and they clip it on our behalf. So you're asserting that
And
I'm.
you still know they're going to do it.
Well, you're asserting that I'm making the women look dumb. However, we're not.
You have this measure of plausible deniability in which you can reject that you're doing that, but everyone knows it's what you're doing. That's what this
What-
platform is for.
Well, that's a straw man.
That's not a straw man.
It's a straw man. You're saying
what's
the intent.
what's the steel man?
You're saying the intent of the platform is to bring women on to make them look stupid. Basically the premise of the show is bring a
to
group of
laugh
people.
at the modern woman.
Don't interrupt me. Let me actually explain what the podcast is about.
I won't.
We bring people on. We bring both men and women on, and we talk about modern dating and often why modern dating sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And we have long form conversations lasting anywhere from 3 to 4 to 5 hours. And you know, oftentimes a lot of these clips. And look, we make clips too, and we know, you know, oh, she said something interesting. He said something interesting. So we do clip, but we do, as far as the show goes, we, like I said, have 3, 4, 5 hour long form conversations where we get into the nuance of various dating related topics.
Sure.
I mean, we spent 30 minutes talking about your background and how you're against sex work. And, you know, we got pretty deep into that. And I think I've
I'm not saying
conducted.
that you're evil. I don't think that you're doing all of this on purpose. I think that that's a happy accident because those are the clips that go viral. And you know that, and you like it.
Well, of course I like clips
Yeah.
going viral. That's
Businessman
I don't
makes
think
money.
it's
Man.
that
yeah, I like if clips go viral. Sure, that's great. It brings more eyeballs to the show.
Sure.
But
I even saw that you retweeted a video of someone, you know, of one of the hosts calling one of the girls a dumb bitch, and then it goes into the meta of the person watching it calling the girl a dumb bitch, and then it goes into the meta of someone watching and calling that a dumb bitch. You know what the show does. You know what it is.
wait, what did I retweet? No, I don't think anybody on the show has ever called anyone a dumb bitch. Are you talking
Sure.
about a cartoon?
Yeah.
You're talking about the cartoon?
Yes, that is the social perception of the show.
Wait, did I even? I don't know if I retweeted the.
I
Are
saw
you talking
it
about
on
freedom?
your-
Are you talking about Freedom Tunes?
I saw it on your Twitter feed.
I'm not sure if I reposted that on my Twitter feed. However, if you're talking about the Freedom Tunes cartoon, which
whether
is
or not you
satirical,
retweeted.
which is
Yes.
satirical, which was not produced by whatever.
So you don't think that anyone watches this show for that?
For what?
Yo, I
make
really don't
fun
think
of
it's
women.
that serious.
I think people watch
Like-
it
Yeah,
just
Brian
for
invites
for
girls on, asks them
No,
entertainment.
it is
questions,
that
and they
serious,
answer the
and you know it's
questions.
that serious.
It's only serious
Wait,
if
what
you
is
take
that
it that
serious?
deep.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't think it's that deep.
What
Whatever.
is that serious?
I feel like this is just a lighthearted, like casual.
tell me a
we're
joke.
just talking and
it is
Yeah.
lighthearted, but we can also get real at the same time. I'm sorry if that's uncomfortable.
I'm perfectly happy
not
to continue
uncomfortable.
talking about this. Please go ahead.
I'm perfectly happy also. I think that there are other things
I
that you
need
do.
ibuprofen. I have a headache. I'm not gonna
So
lie.
let me just address the cartoon thing. A satirical cartoonist called Freedom Tunes made a cartoon. There was something about I forgot. First off, that wasn't produced by whatever, and it was taking
have to be.
jabs at us, and it was in good spirit. I thought it was funny.
No, I love
Yes,
being called
and
stupid.
whether or not you created it,
Degradation, right?
whether or not you created it or you made it or you signed off on it or you liked it, any of that.
Sure.
The reality is that people watch this show and that's what they get from it, and that's why it was popular, right?
Well, look, certainly I would say that.
And you take measures with your little sign thing to be like, we can't do anything here. Like,
What do you mean? do
Be,
anything
be
here?
mindful of what you're saying online, because you're giving us the rights to use this for whatever we want to use it for.
I'm not following you there. Can you clarify a bit what you're talking about? Our talent releases?
Yeah.
You object to us having people sign talent releases?
No, I don't object to that. I'm saying that
Have you ever been part of a production at any other point in your life?
Hold on. I just answered your question. I said that I don't.
But why bring up the talent releases?
I'm just gonna go ahead and take these
Don't
now.
you just leave it there. Leave it there.
What are those?
No, I only brought up the talent releases to say that you
Uphill.
know
Please.
we don't have to have this
That-
conversation now.
What? No, explain what you mean about the talent releases.
So with the talent release, you are with or without the talent release, you are aware that the internet is forever and that you bring on these women, and sometimes you even ask them pointed questions, so you sort of get them into a position where they say something stupid, and then it gets clipped.
But also, why are you coming on here? I know you talked about like wanting to get away from like the sex work and getting away from like having that like be your, I guess, mantra or whatever, but you're coming on here talking about it on like a really big podcast. Like, I feel like if you were trying to get away from that and you weren't on OF anymore, then it would make more sense, but you're still making money on OF and you're also coming on here saying
Well,
you
I
still
mean,
have an OF.
she's a feminist. She intentionally came on, and I knew as much. I mean, she intentionally came on because she obviously wanted to challenge me, which is fine. I don't mind it. As far as the talent releases go, what is your primary gripe with the talent releases?
Brian, it's not the talent release, it's your awareness of what happens in the show.
I think
What?
that can happen
What
in
do
anything,
you?
though. That can happen
so
on
what do
anything.
you? What?
If you're
Listen,
looking at
what-
it like
what
that.
does
I think
the talent
inside
releases have to do with
inside
it?
everyone there are two wolves. I think that
Two wolves?
I think that two wolves.
Okay.
One aspect of this show is that you want to get clipped and you want young girls to come on and make a fool of themselves.
Welcome to the well. As far as getting clipped part, I would say welcome to the internet. Yes,
Listen,
we
stupid.
want to be successful.
Yes, of course you do. Of course you do.
I want to be successful.
But
But-
you are allowed to have that space. I'm not saying that you should be deplatformed. You are allowed to have the space, and if people want to come on and be stupid and they want to be, shout out their OnlyFans, they can do that also. I'm also allowed to come on.
Julia Sandoval, subscribe.
Raven.
I'm also allowed to come on and challenge you, right?
Sure.
Hey, Roy.
Right. So
Right.
there's that
And a-
aspect.
and
And
a
then
lot
there's the
of-
second aspect of
Okay.
which you do use this show to say some pretty poignant things. I think that you telling women that they're like sexual selectors, and you telling women to, your delivery is a little rocky on some of it. Like when you talk about a woman's body count potentially making her be of less value, I think that that's a problem.
I've never said that.
I think it's more so the
It's
chat
more
that
in
brings
the
it though.
implication.
It's not
No,
Brian.
well, so okay, really quick on body count. I've never said that if a woman is slept with a lot of men, that in terms of her value as a human, that she's worth less. However, I have said
I think that you're actually very careful with your words. Also, I think that
I try to be.
You
for the
bring
most
on
part.
other people who do, and then you're like, "Oh, this is so naughty," but the implication is still there. It's
I mean,
still-
I've been pretty strong on my position when it comes to body count.
Sure.
I mean, I've said that, for example, I think promiscuity is disgusting.
sure.
So, I mean, I think
You also
I have
said
a
that you
strong
like
position.
large labia minora,
Big
which I
fan.
appreciated. I appreciate it.
I'm a fan.
You're a
Listen,
female enjoyer. I
I'm a
appreciate it.
feminist.
Yeah, I
a lot of people
appreciate
want to say, Brian, you're anti-feminist. I am the ultimate feminist. Okay, I think
with a couple tweaks.
labiaplasty. It's
Labiaplasty.
Labiaplasty. I'm not in favor. Okay. Yeah. Any women, by the way, who feel self-conscious about their large labia, my DMs are open. Okay, so I'm just saying, I like large labia. What can I say? I'm a fan
That's
of
beautiful.
large labia. I think it's. I
That's a
think,
beautiful
but
thing.
but it is actually a feminist position that, all these magazines in the 80s and 90s were showing women who